Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Daily Dose of Gaming News and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. And the kind of updates and the such usually I go about on Twitter X. And later today, I will be able, hopefully, to publish a Midnight Suns episode. And just a quick reminder, got active gameplay series here. The streaming stuff, it's still, we'll have to see how it goes and I need to get some time on some more theories. And I got the demos that I will play out here and there on some games that might pique my interest there. And again, I already have a pretty bunch of completed gameplay series, some in 4K, the most recent ones, and the older ones are in 1080p. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm feeling way better. Still a little bit of a lung cough and as such, but I'm a little bit better. Let's see how can I improve during the weekend. Let's go to the news. Something interesting here. I bring this up. Gigabyte introduces MO32U 4K and MO27Q2 1440p. These are all QD-OLED monitors. It's the Samsung panel. Um, I This is not the Aorus, not the top tier Gigabyte gaming monitors. This is kind of the same line of the monitor that I have. Mine is an IPS monitor. It's the Gigabyte M28U. I'm pretty satisfied with this monitor itself. It's still recommended if you are on the beginner's budget for 4K gaming monitors. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Good color accuracy so far. The review for monitors unbox. I think on. I'm not sure if I have the unboxing of the monitor on my channel, but Hardware Unbox still does recommend in some cases if it's not an OLED monitor and the such. But I'm curious to see about their review of these monitors. Usually, Gigabyte, in terms of monitors, does pretty good. In terms of price to performance, the monitors, again, the panel, it's not made for them, but usually how they put in terms of functions and the tuning that they do to their monitors usually is pretty good. And this is on the kind of the same line of the M series that they have, the M27. There is a lot of them, M27P or something like that. But this one is a M28U. It's a 144 display rate. I think the new M27s that they have, it's 165 hertz. There is 144, 14, 1440p and 4K IPS monitors. And this is the new thing from OLED. I will wait and see for the review of Hardware Unbox to see if they usually do cover a lot of Gigabyte monitors and see how it goes. It seems pretty good from the specs. I think this Samsung panel, I think is being used a lot on these new QOLED monitors. Let's see if it's on a decent price. Might be a good recommendation for QD-OLEDs. Usually, Gigabyte introduces always the KVM switching and all that jazz. Hopefully, I'm not sure if this monitor will have I think it does the switch to change between like the dual mode or whatever they are using or calling that. But yeah, if I get any kind of news regarding reviews of these monitors, I think they're going to be launched early next year, like January. I think it probably will be introduced or showed off on CES or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it kind of piques my interest. These two monitors, given that Gigabyte usually delivers good products at a good price there. Then we got the 7900 XT. It's dropping to almost $600 for the first time. Again, these are, I think AMD is luring little by little their prices on their GPUs. I think because of the RDNA 4 launch should be relatively close, let's say. And I think they're, and again, they need to be pretty aggressive with the prices, even on this generation, so they can match up in terms of price to performance with NVIDIA at this moment in time. But the 7900 XE is a pretty good GPU. I think the XTX is around $800 at this moment, but I think this is $820, so $200 more. Um, which again, it's in a better pricing position in terms of comparatively with the price to performance here, the price performance gap here, it's more in line to try to, because they have a lot of on the launch. The 7900 XT was positioned in a price position to basically upsell to the XTX, which was not good, but it's still very competent here, especially early beginner 4K, pretty competent there and pretty good, and 1440p. Got good VRAM, and it performs at the level of the 4070. Now I'm not sure, the 4070 Super in terms of rasterization, I think, or the 4070 Ti Super. Again, NVIDIA fucked up a lot of the naming scheme of the refresh. I always confuse myself. But even the 7700 XT and even the 7800 XT are now positioning themselves in better positions in terms of price performance. Again, with the RDNA 4 launch, hopefully they will solve a little bit better the pricing there. But again, this is on Amazon at this moment, and we got the some Black Friday or whatever they are calling deals. I'm not sure if this is something like this, but again, they are pretty still good. Again, we got, for example, the 4070 Ti Super. It's on the same price that the 7900 XTX, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, it is what it is. NVIDIA likes to be able in the sense of selling their products. But yeah, what you're going to do here. Then we got new Star Wars Outlaws. Again, they dropped now on Steam with this new update 1.4 or whatever it's called. Again, supposedly add a significant focus on combat and health and stealth, sorry, to allow player to have more control in their decision, blah blah blah. Updating stealth and combat mechanics. I think they are removing the stealth requirements on the missions that they had before, which was a mess by itself. But yeah, a lot of diddly do that doesn't matter that much. Too late. For whoever was interested, coming just now on Steam. And again, they have a pretty poor debut on Steam. Again, only a little bit better than Concord. Concord didn't was 697 or something like that. They have 100 more players. Again, today it's Friday. It might improve a little bit more on the during the weekend, because this is Friday at my time zone around noon or something like that. I will suppose this will reach, I don't know, 5,000 maybe. Again, probably because they are doing some deals on this game to by launching on Steam. But yeah, not good. Not The numbers are not that good. In terms of follower, so in terms of wish listing, they reached a maximum of 7K wish listing. Again, the reviews will be in line, basically with the sorry, how they calls that platform, Metacritic. I don't foresee this being not nothing of note in a sense. So it is what it is. Again, another butchering of another game from Ubisoft. What you cannot expect too much of it. Then we got here some top 10, an article from Faxter Live, top 10 indie games for next year. Again, some of them have some interest. I'm trying to follow up and see how they goes. I think Murder seem a very interesting one. This one I never heard. Wonderstop, Reanimal. We already saw the tease. This is from the same guys that did Little Nightmares. They already launched the tease. Seems let's see how it goes. Got this one that it's full of DEI stuff there. I think they are in early access and they already had to fire some people from the studio. Um, the previous game that they made, which I think was Hyperlight Drifter, I think it was a pretty good game, or it seemed that way. And this, I think they overextended a little bit on the scope, and they got Sweet Baby Inc. to do some work on this one. And yeah, that doesn't seem that good in terms of uh, I don't know, of the scope and what they're trying to do here. I don't know. We got Tales of Iron. This is a sequel. I remember relatively seeing Tales of Iron 1, but yeah, it's an upcoming game. Again, if it seems pretty good, I will try to cover it. Again, we got Slay the Spire 2. I already almost forgot this game is upcoming here. I played the original one. I don't know, a couple of hundred of hours, if not mistaken. From time to time, I try to do a run here and there. I really do like this kind of games. And in again, it's the sequel. I think with some improved graphics and all that jazz, with some tweaks on the gameplay here, of course, and I will some different gameplay styles that you can do and game modes. But yeah, I will be trying to cover the best I can Slay the Spire 2. We got also Tenjutsu. I think I might have mentioned this game, given that it's a kind of a roguelike action game. But yeah, I will try to keep my best eyes open to see if this is something that it might be worth covering. We got also replaced. Again, I think I have already see something on here, but I'm not sure how it goes. I need to check this one out better to see if it's something that might interested me. We got Morsels, never heard of it, and Tears of Metal. Uh, it's I think already. I think I covered this one or at least seen something about this game. But yeah, I will try to keep my best here, but I will leave again the article, the link in the article for you to check out if you're curious about this. But again, I will usually with this kind of top tens and the upcoming stuff. I will try to create a list for myself and try to follow up on these games to see if it's something that it's worth following up or not, depending on if it piques my interest. And then lastly, we got. I managed to check this article. I watched the being commented on Twitter, and this goes a little bit more in deep of the reasoning of Sony approaching, let's say, from software to buy out Kadokawa. But yeah, it's interesting how this is the reason why this might be happening. Again, this is kind of rumors and leaks and theories about this, but some stuff makes sense. And I think it has to do a lot with the fact that Japan recently passed a new law that enable and will no longer block hostile takeovers of Japanese companies. Again, this is not good. I was not aware of this. And again, I don't know what kind of lobbying happening there in Japan because they are usually even the companies themselves are very protective of their own IPs. We got, for example, the Nintendo lawsuit against Pal World. Usually, even Nintendo with content creators creating their games, they are very protective of their own IPs. The same thing with in other fields with Japanese corporations. They are very protective. They are very, let's say, they try to maintain the company away from foreigners, which I think it's good because it maintains their own identity and their own uniqueness in a certain sense. And yeah, even and with this law being passed recently, for example, Nintendo, Sega, Square Enix are all vulnerable to hostile takeovers too. And I think that's why we've been seeing some degradation from Square Enix in terms of launching games. I will suppose that the fact that international investors can now be more aggressive on trying to uh, put some leverage of what they need to do. I think Square Enix, to a certain degree, Capcom, again, the most well-known companies, and I think Kadokawa, given that international people usually don't identify From Software as being part of Kadokawa company, but yeah, the Kadokawa by itself is one of the oldest corporations in Japan. And yeah, and supposedly because of this, of the fear of another shareholder, Kakao, um, I think they approach to basically trying to buy off. And the fact that Kakao is a South Korean company and not a Japanese company, Kadokawa basically approached one of the other shareholders, which is Sony, to see if they can be approached and do um, the sorry, one of the approach for the buy off instead of this Kakao South Korean company here. And even Kakao scope of business, which includes a lot of stuff here, but the fact that they don't have a good reputation in spite of their financial successes. I think the founder was embroiled in a gaming scandal from when it was launched this year. Also, they were embroiled in a stock manipulation scandal over their successful hostile takeover of K-pop, an entertainment company, SM Entertainment. Again, this is not good. I think that the perception that I'm getting is South Korea has a lot of corruption scandals and this a lot of trying to manipulate a lot of stuff there. Again, it doesn't sound pretty good. And also, Kakao has been slowly buying shares in that Japanese target, Kadokawa, since 2020, notably last 2021. Kakao already managed to bulk up to become Kadokawa's largest shareholder. Again, the fact that probably Kadokawa was afraid that all of a sudden Kakao will take over, and because they are not protected by law of being taken over by foreign companies, they probably approach Sony, which is also, of course, a Japanese corporation, to try and make a counter offer to try intimidate and I don't know, trying to intimidate Kakao of staying put or maybe sell some of their shares to Sony or something like that. Again, um, this is very in deep corporate uh, uh, proceedings here, so I'm not sure exactly how it proceeds. But yeah, supposedly, typically, two parties agree to a share price for a deal, and Sony is not going to end up paying whatever Kakao valuation rises to. Basically, if Kakao wanted to do a takeover, they had enough to cop off even more cash, so leaking it initially could make sense. So again, it's kind of a form of intimidation of Kakao probably wanted to buy out Kadokawa, and they approached Sony to try to make it seems that they're going to make a counter offer so things cool down. But yeah, I think this has to do with the fact that Japan passed a law that it will enable hostile takeovers of Japanese companies from foreigners. Again, I don't like that much, and I think this should be something that. Um, Again, home country corporation should have some kind of protections from hostile takeovers from foreign companies, in the sense that you are susceptible to interference from other countries that might put some leverage or some pressure from any kind of means. And I don't think Japan did a good thing passing. Again, I will assume this is United States pressure of and lobbying to remove this kind of laws of protection laws, because again, Japan was always recognized as being very protective of their own stuff. And it seems that Kadokawa will be desperate enough to pitch a monopoly with Sony to avoid a hostile takeover again. two Japanese companies, even though Kadokawa doesn't want to be fully owned by Sony. It seems they prefer to be owned by Sony, which is also a Japanese company, and not owned by a South Korean company that doesn't have a good perception, at least public perception of since they were founded. And yeah, and again, their move to disclose may be part of company section like chess moves. I think this is a TV series, something like that, to hopefully get out of this with their independence and investment from both Sony and Co intact. Yeah, I think this gives, even though it's like rumors and kind of leaks, it might give us a little bit more an indication why all of the sudden this move happened of supposedly Sony approaching Kadokawa to buy them off. Again, might be some corpo wars, let's say, to being unfolding, and Kadokawa trying to protect themselves. Basically, had to go to one mafia guy to avoid being outbid by another one, to a certain sense. But yeah, basically this is what I got in terms of news. In terms of free games, we got now the Beholder. I think this game is good. I'm not sure. I remember seeing this game being recommended when it came out, but yeah, it's for free on Epic Game Store. In terms of Steam, we got a very slow movement on deals, but yeah, we still have Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. And you got the demo here if you're not sure it's for you, and it's 85% off, so it's an excellent price here. We got Lords of the Fallen. It's 60% off on the deluxe edition. Again, it improved a little bit after the updates that they made here, and it's on the version 1.6. Then we got also the Outer Worlds still on the sale here, 50% off on the base game, and then we got the non-mandatory corporate sponsor bundle, which is around 61% off here. Then on GOG, we got Prey. It's still on sale. Got around 2 days or so. I can recommend the standard edition, which is what I played here. And if not sure if this game is for you, can check out my gameplay series that I did. The first episode will give you a sense of what this game is about. But yeah, very underrated and a pretty good game, and it's got the stamp of approval here. And then lastly, we got the Wasteland series, at least Wasteland 2, Director's Cut Digital Deluxe Edition, 75% off, and Wasteland 3 Colorado Edition, which has a season pass included here. And it's about a day it will end up this offer, but they are excellent price here. But yeah, other than that, I'll wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. And that extra support is in line for me to get around and get a better storage solution, so I can get backups for the stuff that I do for my clients, and also extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.